All right, what's happening out there, my mathletes? This is Mr. Muscarella coming at you. And in this video, we're going to take a look at examples 3 and 4, part 2 of finding or solving trig equations by taking square roots. So let's go ahead and just review these two. So here was examples 1 and 2 already done. So again, you'll need your unit circle. And I know in some courses, your teachers are going to actually have you have that unit circle memorized. So you're not going to even be able to have that out there available for you. So let's just take a look at example 3. So this is very, very similar to the other problems that we've already done together, right? So you want to isolate, and I'll highlight it here in green. You want to isolate your trig function. Now notice there's a negative sign in front of that trig function. So that'll be something we have to contend with. All right, so first we'll start by moving over the negative 4. When you move over the negative 4, you'll get negative secant squared theta equals negative 4. And be careful, don't forget to carry that negative sign down with it. And then, of course, to get rid of the negative sign, you can either multiply or divide both sides by negative 1, and that'll give you secant squared theta equals positive 4. Now, when we take the square root of both sides, careful, error alert, be sure that you don't forget the plus or minus. And you should know that the plus or minus, I'm thinking ahead here, plus or minus the square root of 4, we know that that's just going to end up being 2. So secant of theta equals 2. Now, secant is not on the unit circle, right? That's not one of my trig functions. So what you may want to do is take the reciprocal of both sides. So the reciprocal function of secant is, of course, cosine. So cosine of theta. And then when you take the reciprocal of 2, you're just going to make that the fraction 1/2, because those are reciprocals. Now, this is easy peasy lemon squeezy once we've got this part. So let's bring in our friend unit circle here. So where are you, buddy? Yeah, let's grab you right here and then bring you in. So let's take a look at that. So I want my cosine to be 1/2 or negative 1/2. And remember, cosine is the x-coordinate. So theta is going to have 4 different values. Now, the positive values are going to be where the x-coordinate is 1/2. One of them is right up here at 60 degrees and pi over 3. The other spot where 1/2 is over here at 300 degrees or 5 pi over 3. So those are 2 positive values. And then the 2 negative values, of course, they would come from negative 1/2 is right over here at 2 pi over 3 or 120 degrees. And my x-coordinate is negative 1/2 also at 240 degrees or 4 pi over 3. So it's kind of up to you how you want to write your answers. Some textbooks will just write them in order. So if you were to do that, you would just go around the unit circle in a counterclockwise direction. So you could say 60 degrees, then 120 degrees, and then 240 degrees, and then lastly, of course, 300 degrees. So that's one way you could write those. And underneath that, just so that they are synced up, you would write the corresponding radian values. So pi over 3, 2 pi over 3, and then 4 pi over 3, and then lastly, 300 degrees is 5 pi over 3. So those would be our solutions to the equation negative secant squared theta plus 4 equals 0. So those are all of the angles that would make that true. Now we've got one other example here. You can probably do this one on your own. I mean, you guys are probably getting to a spot where you're like, all right, I got this stuff, man. It's easy, Musky. Thanks, bro. No problemo. So if you're in that camp, go ahead and pause the video. But again, keep your work nice, neat, and organized. Equal signs lined up, because you know that's what I'm going to be looking for. So go ahead and hit pause, and then come on back, and we'll check out, see how you did. All right, so first, of course, we would subtract we'd move the negative 5 over to the other side, so we get cotangent squared theta equals 1. And then when we do the square root of 1, of course, that's really nice. So if you have plus or minus the square root of 1, this is a math fact. You should just know the square root of 1 is 1. So we would end up with plus or minus 1. Again, cotangent, not on the unit circle. However, our good friend tangent is. That's right. So tangent of theta would be the reciprocal of 1, which is itself. So that would still be plus or minus 1. And tangent is going to be plus or minus 1. So it's going to be positive 1 at these 2 values right here. Positive 1 will occur at pi over 4. And then across the unit circle, 180 degrees at 5 pi over 4. And then also, it'll be negative 1 at 3 pi over 4, 135. And then down here at 315 degrees. So we'll write our degree answers first. So we'll have our 45 degrees. So these are all 4 in the 45 degree family. So 45 degrees, 135 degrees, 225 degrees, and lastly 315. So those are all of our answers in degrees. And then in radians, of course, that'd be 1 pi over 4, 3 pi's over 4, and 5 pi's over 4. And lastly, I'm thinking ahead, 7 pi's over 4. So boom, diggity done. That's it. That's all you got to do for these. So take your time. Do not forget the plus or minus, of course, because that would only give you half the number of solutions that we would have there. All right, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Make it a great day. Peace out, Cub Scouts.